Professor Farnsworth was testing out his latest invention, the world's biggest sewing machine. Using the machine, he stitched together a bunch of old human body parts to create a brand new person. But this new being didn't have a head. It looked utterly bizarre. So the crew headed to the head museum, hoping to find a head that was desperate for a body to call its own. There they met Cara Delevingne, a world-famous supermodel. The professor fitted Cara with the body without a hitch, but she hated the clothes she was given, calling them hideous. To fix this, the professor pulled out his 3D fashion scanner. The device could scan Cara's body measurements, inject the data into a giant silkworm, and after 6 weeks, the silkworm would cocoon and emerge as a butterfly, leaving behind a custom-made silk outfit in its wake. The professor took Cara to a science competition, but as soon as Cara stepped onto the stage, no one paid any attention to the groundbreaking human reanimation technology. All anyone cared about was the stunning gown she was wearing. The professor lost the competition hands down. Unable to stomach this defeat, the professor decided to pivot to the fashion industry.
Oh my, that'll look better on me.
His incredible garment-making skills quickly landed him on the cover of a top fashion magazine. A paramecium model caught wind of his success and begged the professor to make a dress for her. Later, the paramecium model walked the runway in the professor's creation, and the crowd went wild. The professor's fame skyrocketed, and he soon hosted his very own fashion show. The show was a massive hit, especially Cara's show-stopping finale look. Everyone was celebrating the professor's triumph, everyone except Zoidberg. He was so distraught he considered jumping into the river. After all, poor folks like him could never afford fancy clothes like that, and he'd endured endless mockery from the fashion crowd because of it. Zoidberg begged the professor to find a solution for people like him, but raising silkworms was prohibitively expensive, making mass production impossible. Fortunately, the professor soon came up with a brilliant workaround. He engineered a mutant moth that functioned like a high-speed 3D silk printer. These moths were cheap to buy and could churn out custom-fit outfits in minutes. The clothes were low quality and only lasted a single day, but there was an easy fix. Every night, you just tossed the worn-out garment into the professor's invention, the fash can, and the next day, you could print yourself a brand new outfit. The invention was an instant sensation. People from all walks of life could finally embrace fashion, regardless of their class. One day, Zoidberg suddenly found himself longing for the pair of pants he'd thrown away the previous day. Cara admired Zoidberg for sticking to his own style, but there was a problem. The fash can wasn't just a disposal bin. It was a time-traveling, multi-dimensional wormhole, and no one had any clue where the discarded clothes ended up. Determined to find out, Leela hopped in the spaceship and flew the entire crew straight into the fash can. After zipping through the wormhole, they emerged to find a planet completely buried under mountains of discarded clothing. Before they knew it, their ship was swamped by a tidal wave of old outfits, forcing them to crash land on the planet's surface. The world was devoid of humans. Only massive creatures that fed on old clothes roamed the landscape. The professor's invention had completely destroyed an entire planet. The crew raced back to Earth in a panic, but the professor was still casually tossing clothes into the fash can, completely indifferent to the fact that he'd wiped out a planet until he checked the ship's navigation coordinates. What he discovered left him stunned. The planet they'd just visited was Earth. The wormhole didn't lead to some distant galaxy. It led to the Earth of the future. In the next moment, a giant wormhole ripped open in the sky. Millions of discarded clothes began pouring out, and one by one, they covered the planet. Earth was on the brink of destruction.